And some people say something, they said the risk in agriculture is directly proportional to the profit. How true is that statement?
The way Nigeria is structured, we cannot meet all our needs.
No.
So once you can identify a particular thing that will meet people's needs, in fact, it solves that. For me, I'm able to identify that, oh, in this Ogbomoso, you are importing meat from our neighboring town. There's nobody that can raise chicken. There's nobody that can raise rabbitry. And since then, I have been able to meet. I discovered that a lot of eateries that are big in Ogbomoso, they are not even buying their products from Ogbomoso. They are going outside. That's a big blow, which means we are sleeping, and the land is there. The money is there for some people.
The people are there.
The capital are there. Hey, talk of cassava. If you are producing, if you like harvest 20 tons of cassava today, before the next day, it's already finished. And there's one thing about agriculture again. Once you are succeeding in it, there will be a self-satisfaction. You'll be happy. You can't underestimate the aspect of God for you to succeed in many things. As a father, you must be a spiritual coverage. And show me a successful researcher that has God, that has this discipline. It will show in his or her family also.
Something that militates against quality research in Nigeria, especially African countries, is lack of grant, lack of funds. How do you fund your researches? A very good morning, our viewers all around the world. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Once again, we are here for another topic, for another episode on our channel, Beyond the Classroom with Professor Oyekale. If you may recall, we have been bringing professionals to discuss with youths, with graduates, with prospective graduates, with job seekers, on how to navigate the turbulent waters of our economic life, especially in a country like Nigeria. So today, I have another wonderful, great guest with me in the studio here. I will not want to introduce him on his behalf. I will ask him to introduce himself, and that will be in different phases of his personality. So, firstly, before you introduce yourself based on the different personalities I will ask about, welcome our guest first.
Thank you so much, my prof. And I sincerely appreciate you for inviting me to this wonderful podcast that you have been on to. My name is Dr. Adeshola Oyekale. So I am a researcher, not only a researcher, I'm into many things. I'm into farming also, and I mentor many youths out there.
If I recollect, the last guest I brought here was also a 4-part man, a man in 4 different parts. So my current guest as well today, I can say, is a multi-part personality.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for welcoming our guest. So I guess before we begin, I want you to please like, share, comment, and then subscribe to our channel. All right, let's begin with the main course. Who is Shola Oyekale, the researcher?
As a researcher, like I said the other time, my area of expertise focuses on epigenetics of metabolic syndrome. I have a degree in biochemistry, and of course my MSc in chemical pathology and PhD also in chemical pathology. And just like I told you the other time, my major area and interest is research every time.
Research. Can you still break it down to laymen watching us? Break down your subject of research. What does it have to do with someone like me? Who are the consumers? Who's your target of the output of your research? Break it down to people who are not science-based, so to speak.
Thank you, sir. All on epigenetics of metabolic syndrome as my major area in the research. Why that? It's a kind of research that focuses on some silent aspect of human being which may not show symptoms, unlike the infectious diseases like malaria, maybe some other maybe rickettsiosis, and a lot of infectious disease out there. On the metabolic syndrome, these are silent things within the human population that it may take time for it to manifest. When you see this time, it will have gone viral before you detect it. So why metabolic syndrome now? So over the years, there are a lot of infections or a lot of things that have been going wrong in both developed and developing countries. Before all these things begin to emanate in human body, they may not show any symptoms. What are all these things that constitutes metabolic syndrome? We have diabetes, we have cardiovascular disorders, we have obesity, and all these things can contribute negatively to human health, and indirectly they may reduce the quality of life of the entire population of human being. And that's why most people, especially in African settings, they have low quality of life, and it's reduced the life expectancy. And little do we know that if all these things are detected early in life, they can be curbed. And those are the things that catch my interest in the research of metabolic syndrome.
The reason I actually asked that I should go deeper is because there's some viewers who may be in a similar area like you,
Yes, sir.
or who may be captivated by the subject area. It has to do with diseases, infections, care for people, human health, well-being, quality of life. So it's a kind of research area that anybody will be interested in knowing about,
Yes,
or even perhaps going into. Now, are you an independent researcher or working as a collaboration or working as an employee in the research institute?
I work in collaboration, and also I am an independent researcher. In collaboration, why the word collaboration? In most researches, you cannot do it alone.
Definitely.
In fact, when you collaborate, it makes research very sweet
More
and
robust.
more robust for you to keep going. Over the years, or during my MSc time when I did my master's, I'm fortunate to work with some group that opened my eyes to a lot of all these infectious or non-infectious disease that people are exposed to. So during the time, I'm fortunate to work with a lot of medical personnel out there, do some outreaches with my MSc work, and we diagnose a lot of people, and you will just see that, oh, people they look healthy, but within, there are a lot of issues underlying that are going on. So, and as a collaborator now, like I said, you cannot just do this thing alone. When you go out in team, it's very beautiful, and you will achieve a lot than you going single-handedly.
A very nice one there, because talking about collaboration, I've seen engineering students, I've seen computer science students working on something, how to detect a particular disease. You know, as an engineer, you can't work that ill because you are not in the hospital. So you need to collaborate with somebody who's a medical personnel,
Yes,
to get for data, for assistance, to know how, because you are just thinking of a sensor maybe to detect. How that thing works inside, you don't know.
Yes, sir.
It's a medical that knows. So your researchers definitely having a collaborative effort, we make it stronger, we make even the result more convincing. Yes, there are a lot of people involved in a research like this. All right, have there been any let me say, any release, any patent, any research output address a particular type of infection since you started the research?
Of course, yes. There are diverse. In fact, I have like two strong ones. So in the aspect of filariasis that I work on at the early onset of my research, so we are able to detect that filariasis does not only affect people like that, it causes a lot of secondary infection. Now, people that are down with this syndrome, we are able to detect not only that, we are able to give them some level of preventive practice, and for some that are totally down, through our team, we are able to at least subject them to medical care and do some follow-up to the extent that all this infection, at least they reduce to some extent. And during my PhD program, I'm able to work on obese diabetic subjects. So some of the findings, I'm able to detect that, oh, many people, they were obese and they have a lot of underlying symptoms with them. And not only that, some that are not also obese, they have a lot of underlying symptoms in terms of metabolic syndrome. And fortunately for me, I'm able to get a lot of collaboration to the studies. I'm able to bring down the studies down to the molecular level and genomics level through the help of my employer right now, which is in form of Umbodbeya Research Hub Center for Emerging and Re-emerging Infectious Disease here in Lautech. And the collaboration, my employee here have actually exposed me to a lot of things, to the global world. So my research is not just ordinary baseline table research, but I'm able to go in depth. Oh, this thing is there. What might be responsible for this thing? Is it hereditary? Is it something that can be cured? Is it a mutational cause-based disease? So those are the things that I'm still on to right now and keep doing. And those are the things that keep me going.
That's a wonderful one. One thing I know about research is research actually does not end.
Yes, sir.
Where somebody ends his own research, there will be literature review of somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Research continues. Now, something that militates against quality research in Nigeria, especially African countries, is lack of grant, lack of funds. How do you fund your researches?
Wow, that's great. If you as a person if one as an individual, they see the potential in you, of course, that may not be something difficult. For me, I'm able to discover a lot of opportunities early during the onset of my postgraduate studies. Why? Due to the people that I'm surrounded with.
Okay.
My mentor. So my mentor then, in the name of Dr. Oyekale and Professor Jurongbe and many more in my area of specialization, exposed me to what is happening in the global world. So at the onset of my MSc, I'm able to know all the opportunities that are within my reach, and I key into them. And since 2018, there's no year up to this particular moment that I've not been getting scholarship every year. And through that scholarship, I'm able to widen my research, to network with people in African countries, in Uganda, of course, to network with people in Germany and Brazil. So not only to network, I've been there personally, fully funded. And I enjoy all this opportunity, and it helps my work and keep me going.
Our viewers, I hope you are picking something. The conversation is getting interesting. But I know that there are people who will be watching this, perhaps who are discouraged researchers. I have people who are but they are discouraged because they go to a point, there's no leeway, there's no headway. Maybe the initial support got finished. There are some of our people outside Nigeria who are doing postgraduate research, but the promise that the government gave before they left, they couldn't sustain it. So they are stranded. They are stranded. So if in that case, what will dominate their mind is survival. The research becomes secondary at that point in time, because they need to survive before they talk of research. Firstly, very, very important. Now, another thing I just dropped in my mind is, what motivated you to research in the first place? Were you involved in any infection? You know, there are some people, what happened to them bring out the research mind in them. For example, let me give you a typical example. Way back, I think the 80s or 90s, Kanu Nwankwo, that popular Nigerian footballer, he had a heart problem on the pitch. And thank God it was not in Nigeria. It was outside. It was helped. The heart condition was healed. Later, it started Heart Foundation for those who have the same kind of problem of the heart. Meaning that it was his heart problem that made him launch Kano Heart Foundation. So what actually prompted your own research, or research mind, so to speak?
Thank you very much. This is a two-in-one question. What motivated me and why some people are getting stuck in their research? I think let's start from the later part. Why some people get stuck in their research. Wow, these are things that it can be caused by individual due to lack of proper planning. Then it can be caused by the organization itself, be it the school, and it can be caused by the government policy. I will break this down. Lack of proper planning now. Oh, I have this research to tackle. You can't just go there without knowing the financial implication. Oh, what need will it meet? What will be the consequence of this research? Will it be beneficial to the entire global or to the entire community? Those are the first questions. Fine, I even identified that. What's my budget? Can I go about this? And how do I now, if I can't go about this, how do I now approach, or how do I get funds for this particular research that I want to embark upon? Another thing again that will help is where you belong, the team you belong, the department you belong, your supervisor. All those things are the things that we co-facilitate one's research. Because if your supervisor or mentor, they are not forthcoming, of course, it will surely affect one's outputs. And you have no option during the middle of the research than to just like abandon something because the funding is not coming as expected. Let's take the school also as another factors. Our kind of education system in the country is a traumatized, to me, is a traumatized educational system. Because the school, their major something is how do I get revenue from the student first to care for the entire staff. Fine. Having done that, the students will be struggling on their own parts, trying to meet a lot of deadline to pay school fees at the detriment of their research. Oh, the person have to abandon that research first. Having looked for the school fees, you have to be pursuing the deadline so that another fee will not come and meet you. Before you know it, the person will not be onto a very quality. The person will not be focused. That's the truth. And the school is not helping. The school, their own aim is, how do we get primary fund from these people so that, we get more robust in maybe financial implication to settle the lecturer and some other things to keep going as an institution. Unlike abroad, before you can engage in any research, you must, as a matter of must, have somebody that will fund you.
Definitely.
You've been there, I've been there. When I first went to Germany, it was a very big eye-opener to me. You don't need to stress yourself over anything, including food. In fact, the moment I stepped there, I was given correct stipend. So the aspect of you losing focus will be first of all eradicated. You have food, you have paper to yourself, you have printer, you have 3 laptops to yourself, you have everything. Immediately you are consuming any reagents, they are replacing it. Unlike here in our settings.
Let's leave our
You are the one to be responsible for everything. Not only that, your supervisor will also be looking for something from you. Of course. Tell me, how do you want to carry out a meaningful research in this our settings? Fine. I'm not opinion of the fact that there's no meaningful research in Nigeria. There are, in fact, a lot of good research, but the good ones, they are not, the percentage and the proportion, they are not, they are very few. They are very few. They are very few. And on the government perspective also, there's lack of fund. All these major organizations in Nigeria, they have not seen the need to keep funding. They might have been doing so, but it's not enough. A typical PhD student, for me as a Nigerian, is not supposed to be using a fund or his fund
For
to
research.
carry out quality. Because as a PhD student, you ought to carry out a research that will at least be a very impactful one to your society first, to your community, and of course to the global perspective at large, depend on your design. So if you don't have access to all these things, it's a big problem. And in developed countries like this now, they already have plan for all their peoples. Then the leftover is what we depend upon to apply for and of course leverage on as an Africa or developing country to keep your research going. For the second aspect, I think I lose focus
The
on
motivation
the motivation
to research.
Fine. If you get it right at the early stage, like me, I'm able to get it right, belong to a very strong team. Like I told you, I've been opportune to be mentored by a lot of professors while at the early stage of my career. So all those professors I surround, they surround me anytime I need, to write a motivation letter, to write a references, all the opportunities that I'm supposed to key into, they guided me. And it's one thing to be guided, is to make yourself available, is another thing to make yourself unavailable. I make myself available. And not only that, I have a very good research proposal. And of course, I apply with my research proposal for many funding, for many symposium, for many conferences. And fortunate enough for me, I've been winning a lot of conferences. I've been winning a lot of grants also year by year. And that won't keep me going in research. How will I not be happy and be motivated? If I apply for something, I got it. I could remember my first traveling, I didn't even have any research on grant at all, and I applied with my proposal. And I was fortunate to be selected. And I was the only person in the symposium that came in as a proposer. And then it gave me an avenue to learn, not only among my colleagues in Africa, among people in abroad. Oh, this how this thing is being done. Oh, this thing is being done like this. My orientation changed.
Willingness to learn.
And the willingness is a top notch when I came back home. And since then, it is always, it's either my language is now research.
Wow. Our viewers out there, please, it costs nothing to hit the like button. It costs nothing to click on the subscribe button. It doesn't bite either. All right. It's a good one. You know, as we are talking, what I was able to bring out is it has to be this intentionality.
Yes, sir.
You want to be a researcher. You'll be focused. Every other thing, you allow nothing to distract. Yes, even funding should not be a distraction.
Yes, sir.
But you know, in this part of the world, the academia industry collaboration is weak.
Yes, sir.
Outside there, when I went to study, companies like IBM, like ASA, they built labs. Students will go from my university to the company. There's that agreement is there. You send students to us. They do something for the school.
Yes, sir.
By the time they are through, they go and get employed there. That collabo. But here, our government so much believes in expatriates than the locals, than Nigerian researchers, and are bringing a good thing. But even some researchers that spend their own hard-earned money,
Yes, sir.
just to make sure the research comes true. We hope that one day we'll get there. Our aim is so that those that have the money, they will not be discouraged. You are here as a researcher speaking in favor of research. There are some youth out there who are researchers or who wants to go into research will learn one or two things that is not yet over. That is not over until you say it is over. You can still make it well and good as a researcher. One thing you pointed out, you also brought out this issue of those you surround yourself with. If you are surrounded with research-friendly people, there's no way you'll be lured into research. But if you are studying yourself, there's no money anywhere. Of course, naturally, you relax.
Yes, sir.
Please, those you surround yourself with, they matter in this area of research. Now, Can you briefly also talk to our people before we leave the area of Oyekale as a researcher? So some people out there that may be interested in that area of infectious diseases as you. What can you tell them? Or are there other areas related, not exactly yours, related to yours that you can go into? And tell us briefly, okay, what area, what field in your undergraduate, is it biochemistry, is it anatomy, is it chemistry, is it applied biology? Just
That's a good one. I would like to use myself as an example also again. My first degree, like I said earlier, is biochemistry. And during my postgraduate studies, my major focus is on molecular. So the molecular aspect, which is the genetics. So right now, at postdoctoral level, I'm also looking forward at the multi-omics aspect. What do I mean by this? How do you bring bioinformatics, proteomics, and a lot of all these genetics into a meaningful outcome? For my own field of study, it's enormous. You can choose to, I want to go to the analytical aspect. I want to go to the clinical aspect, just like I diverted into. And of course, having diverted into the clinical aspect, I'm now learning myself into the multi-omics profiling too. So there are a lot of options available for you as a biochemist and as a researcher in my particular field, because there are a lot of specialization, and this thing it will not be justified based on what you are interested in. Is it the analytical aspect? Is it the industrial aspect? Is it the molecular aspect? It is the multi-omics profiling, and there's no one that you engage in that you cannot use as to lecture. So if your passion is to lecture, and of course, if your passion is to be in a research lab, just like myself, it's fine. So the advantage and the opportunity are enormous.
the options are endless. Please, viewers, research is still possible. No matter what's happening around here, it can still be a good and a force to reckon with in terms of research. Now, let's now go into the part B now.
Yes, sir.
Who is Dr. Shola Oyekale, the farmer or the agriculturist?
Wow, that's another interesting aspect of me. Many people, in fact, most people now, if they see me now before, they even thought I'm a farmer.
Full time.
Full time. But that's like, to me, farming is a passion which I'm being born into. Is a family thing. So it's one thing for something to be a family thing. It's one thing for you to catch the passion. Maybe as a result of the economy of the entire globe, during our time when our parents are bringing us up, you don't have any option than to, you go to farm and complement your studies with what we are doing. So that at least if something is not coming forth from the government, delay in salary, there is something to eat. And not only that, I've been a person that right from my childhood, I can't even know the precise age personally, maybe 3 years old, maybe 2 years old, I've been keeping livestock till present. And the livestock that I've been keeping is always rabbits. It was after I get into degree, I now venture into some other aspect of the poultry, layers farming, broilers farming, goat farming, all to the level of local chicken. And all these things, I don't take them at level of subsistence. I'm even taking them more than people that are even in the field themselves.
So you're actually into, I can say, your agribusiness.
Yes, sir.
That's nice, because something struck me now. So like that you grew up into it.
I grew up into it.
So there's some people are asking what led you into it. You were born into it.
Yeah.
You grew up with it, and it's a passion. So we can say now that means between the two areas that we have discussed, which one can you say is the main hustle? Which one is the side hustle?
That's the mistake we made as an African. In developed world, you are meant to do your work again. Why doing your work doesn't stop you being a farmer. In In Europe, thank God, like I said earlier, we've been there. You will see them farming to their doorstep. And those that are interested in farming, government will give them full support. Unlike in this country, if you are interested in farming, you are on your own. You have to find everything. You have to bring your way out. So for me, the passion is just great, to be sincere. I made all my cake myself. And not only that, for the poetry aspect, when I get to undergraduate, my dad took me to a person, and that's the person that mentored me. And those people that mentor me, they are all around our vicinity. Mama Falade, Mr. Makinde Olumide, then in Nigeria was still safe. And I go to the extent of sleeping in the farm while brewing day oats. And not only that, I gather some basic from those people. And when I gather those basic, I come down to my own level again. Went to the library straight. I didn't have any phone then. I have to look for agricultural textbook. How do this? How is this? How is that? How is this? And before you know it, I begin to increase from 100 layers to 200 layers to 400 layers to 2,000 layers. And that's what kept me going all through my undergraduate. I didn't collect a single kobo again from my parents. And with it, I'm able to achieve a lot. And there's one thing about agriculture again. Once you are succeeding in it, there will be a self-satisfaction. You'll be happy. Even if you want to come down, that happiness of you thinking of, somebody is bringing money next day to sell some crate of eggs. You have something for yourself to keep spending. So those are the things that motivate me.
Our viewers, I hope you got that I got. Because of the passion which he developed, he stopped collecting money from home. Some of us still in school. Let's do something. The opportunities are there, but let's lay our hands on something. Agric is very profitable. We will talk about that as we move on. Now, talking about that, and I said passion, skill, family thing, right? Now, Fine said you'll be happy if things are going on well. But practically speaking, as a starter, things may not go well as you anticipate. Let's say poultry, rabbitry, goatry, all these rabbitry, things may go well. And some people say something, they said the risk in agriculture is directly proportional to the profit. How true is that statement?
The statements might be true based on individual level of perception. Why do I say this? A lot of risks are there, fine. But nowadays, the so-called youths, they are not ready to exercise patience. The fact that I told you that I'm into all these things also, there are stories to each of them. It's not one day that, I begin to gain in this. I didn't tell you the story of how I carry sack, go and look for grasses in the bush for years, and I will still be happy with it. How many of our youth can do that now? I bet you nobody can do that. So I didn't tell you the story of, how will I use my own pocket money at times to be with my pets, to make as a sacrifice to it. That's it. But nowadays, just like, before that, just like I told you then that I sacrificed some time to go and learn in the farm. Of course, kidnapping will not allow you to do that now. No. Because I slept practically in that farm for up to a month. And I didn't go home at all. And everything is peaceful. Nobody can do that with the entire, nowadays, something that we find ourselves in this insecurity that we are into. One thing, get the practical knowledge. Know the pros and cons of agriculture. Don't be too desperate. That's it. If you are not too desperate, it's fine. Know what are the risk factors that may be associated. When there is an outbreak, how will we be able to cope? There's no aspect of industry, even outside agriculture, that doesn't have its own risks.
Definitely.
That's it. But when you are knowledgeable about, when this thing happen, how will you care with it? When this thing struck, how will you go about it? Hope it will not affect me. Once you have all these fundamental things within and the good knowledge to keep going, to be sincere, it will be of help. Just subject yourself to thorough mentoring, thorough training, what it takes, and you don't need to start big. You start small. The small you start from, then it will keep on growing with you. Like I told you the other time, my PD days, 100 layers. This story before the 100 layers, there are a lot of story to that also. That, I kept like 2 cockerel. I'm so passionate about the country. Wherever they are going, I will keep following them. I don't know, maybe like a full animal, I don't know. And I collected another 30. And all this thing did very fine. The passion just keep on. What if I try layers? Layers keep exceeding to the extent that I have my own personal land. I have my own correct pen, standard one. Intensive practice, not only this thing. So those are the things. But youth of nowadays, you just like, there is money here. Guy, can you tell me how much can I put in and get back in the next
1 week?
Like, even if that 1 week can be fast track, that's it. And before you know it, you don't know what the consequences, what the person has faced. And if anything struck, of course, it will struck in a very big time.
Now, you're already giving our youths some hints. Don't go into a profession like being agriculturalist, any kind of farming they want to do now. Although I think you also mentioned the challenges in the agriculture. I think you already mentioned about that. Everywhere, there's no career. It has its own share of challenges. Now, there's this I want to ask you briefly. Some people have the mind, have the passion, have the desire, but they just can't. Maybe their task schedule, they are not strong for it, they are afraid of taking risks. They prefer, can I invest into someone who's already in the business? An agreement. I pump some money into it at a particular rate of investment, profit. I just sit down my own work, but I already let my money go and work on that farm.
Okay.
How do you see that as somebody in the business?
As somebody in the business, if one is looking for someone to leverage on, fine, it may be a very good opportunity, but one have to be very careful because the world of agriculture is not directly proportional. I invest this. The fact that somebody is getting 30 million, or let's lower it and maybe 300,000 doesn't mean another A will get the same. Another A may even suffer loss. Maybe due to environment, maybe due to feeding, maybe due to negligence in the person caring for those things. So it's not just something advisable most of the time. You have to be. I have hardly seen a agriculturist that you will succeed on leveraging on other people like that. Even our so-called our former president, they have to be on the sites most of the time to keep the farm going. Immediately you deviate like this, you are not monitoring this thing. They may not be faithful to the output they will give you and some other things. Fine. On another person's side, maybe, I have this talent, I didn't have the money, and I get somebody
who has the money.
Fine, you can collaborate and sign an agreement. If it works, it's okay. It's okay. So it's a 50-50 thing.
All right, please. That means those who have the idea, don't throw it away. But he said, be careful. Be careful. Wisdom is profitable to direct. All right, now let's quickly go into this. The three major parts of you now: the researcher, the agriculturist, and then the father. Now, I want to loop the three together. How do you are a happily married man, I know, with a son, with son for now. We don't know how many are coming after the son, but at least I know you're a happily married man.
Yes, sir.
And how do you blend all these things together? Research takes time.
Yes, sir.
Farming takes time. I mean, a father takes time.
Yes, sir.
How do you blend the three and none of them is failing?
Let me start from being a father. Not everybody can be a father. The fact that you have a child doesn't make one a
doesn't make
father.
a father, definitely.
So, what makes a father? A person that can guide, that can discipline, a person that can mentor. You have to keep your child doing the right thing. The Bible says, train up the child in the way of the Lord, and when he grow, he will give you peace. And of course, as a father, having known this, and I have my own father also, I know how he brought me up, how he disciplined me. I don't want to do lesser than him, of course. I want to at least do a bit higher than what he did for me. I must be able to do that for my kids also. And personally, as a father, I look up to God also, being our heavenly father, father of all people, as my mentor. And aside from him, I also have some people that have succeeded in their career path that, how are they coping? You can't underestimate the aspect of God for you to succeed in many things. Fine, I would like to put in this. Most of all this application that I applied for most of my scholarship and some other things, I never told you that I fast and pray on it so that everything will come out beautiful. So those are the things that is expected as a father. You must be a spiritual coverage. And show me a successful researcher that has God, that has this discipline. It will show in his or her family also. That's just the truth. It will emanate from the family. Because as a researcher, you must be time conscious, and that discipline I'm able to incorporate in the family too. When the time is there for me to do this, they already know. When the time is there to play, this is my time to play. When the time for me to write manuscript, this is the time for me to write mine. And I know that, my aim as a researcher will be on, how many research outputs will I be able to publish there that are impactful, not just ordinary publication like that. And of course, I will not want my own family also to go down. So the balance point is just that, I reference God, I'm disciplined with timing. I have timetable, and I'm always conscious of what to do at the right time.
God factor, indispensable. Then, being time conscious, being disciplined. Those are factors, those are things that help in keeping all these things together. And none of them is failing. Because to be a researcher, it's no big joke. To be a farmer, no big joke. And couple it now, to be a father is not a joke. Now, I want you to give some forms or piece of advice to someone, let's say, in pure and applied chemistry department or theater arts department, as the case may be, who may be interested in owning a farm. And it comes to you, can you give me advice? What will you advise them?
I've been doing that a lot over years. So the first thing is passion. It's not necessarily means that the person should be in agriculture. It can be in my field. So if the person have passion in this, and let's take agriculture now, for example, of course, I will guide him or her. I will mentor him the right path to go, how I'm able to balance my own career with agriculture also. And I have a lot of IT students in the farm also, which I'm also mentoring and guiding. And ever since years, it's always been, how are you doing this? You are not even an agricultural student, and you are doing this. So my advice is just that if the passion is there, of course, every other thing will come easy. But if the passion is not there, there's nothing you can do. It will just be like a waste of time.
Yeah, couple with that question. Let's say an agri graduate.
Okay, sir.
Now he's thinking of I want to practice my degree. Okay. Right? Can you give different areas they can delve into? Not necessarily find and laboratories. What other areas that are not white collar? Because our focus today is on white collar versus no collar. That are not exactly white collar jobs that they can go into as an agri graduate.
Fine. The way Nigeria is structured, we cannot meet all our needs.
No.
So once you can identify a particular thing that will meet people's needs, in fact, it solves that. For me, I'm able to identify that, in this Ogbomoso, you are importing meat from our neighboring town. There's nobody that can raise chicken. There's nobody that can raise rabbitry. And since then, I have been able to meet. I discovered that a lot of eateries that are big in Ogbomoso, they are not even buying their products from Ogbomoso. They are going outside. That's a big blow, which means we are sleeping, and the land is there. The money is there for some people.
The people are there.
The capital are there. Hey, talk of cassava. If you are producing, if you like harvest 20 tons of cassava today, before the next day, it's already finished. So those are the things that one can look into also. And I've not tell you the fact that, okay, for me, I also like doing something very unique. When I travel out there, I am able to bring a lot of unique things like seeds, like all these pumping seed that, is not known to us in this aspect of the globe. And it does fine. These are seeds that are medically beneficial to our system. That, like pumpkin now is a tomato, and it have a shelf life of 6 to 8 months after harvesting. And it's very fantastic. So those are the things you can look into. While you are going here, what are the things they are doing? How can you incorporate it into your own system? Who tell you apple cannot be grown in Ogbomoso? Who tell you onion cannot be grown? It's just like our mindset that it is only in the northern part that cabbage should be grown, onions should be grown. It is when you see the needs, when you make yourself available for this thing, fine, the texture of the soil may not support it in some aspect, but we have some area in Ogbomoso that can support all those things. I'm telling you the truth, because what I'm always interested in anytime I go out is, what is it that I can get in this place that is not in my environment that I can bring. And to be sincere, it has always been a successful one.
Just got my mind. We have smart agriculture. If you say, okay, up north is the strictest store, is the temperature, we can improvise. We have greenhouse.
Yes,
we can improvise that, put that temperature inside it.
Thank you, sir.
Put the first stage inside it. We grow whatever we want to grow all year round.
Thank you, sir. So I think the government too have a major role to play in this, because you will see many of our undergraduates in school, they will even be looking up to you that is not an agriculturist to come and guide them in the farm. To me, it's always looks somehow to me that, you call yourself an agric undergraduate or a graduate, and you are looking up to someone like, fine, because you are not actively involved in practical.
That is the thing. You are not an agric graduate, but you are an agric practical person.
Thank you, sir.
That's the reason.
Thank you.
And they want to see life.
Thank you.
That's why our agric, those of us that are viewers, it's not about what we learn in our classes. It's what is done on the field. Yeah, most of the class will tell you this is what the soil you make tomato grow, not make onion grow. You need to be on the field to actually know that. Yes, sir. Very, very important. Now, well, I think I've talked about agriculture, what other areas. Now, something which has become recurring is issue of parenting. I don't want us to, as I say, it's a very big topic. I don't want us to go into it today. Maybe another time we're going to also talk about that entirely, because it's something we will not stop talking about. Even by bringing guests talk, I can be another guest talk about the same parenting.
Yes, sir.
Because it's just like there's an issue I've been talking about. Most of our previous videos, school has always been an issue we don't stop talking about. School truly scam, but we are going to talk about that with time.
I would like to briefly, like 30 seconds on that parenting.
Okay.
I really sincerely appreciate my parents for the mentoring and guidance over me. My first capital, when I saved over years during my undergraduate, I packed this money. I want to buy Audi. I want to arrive.
That's a car.
I want to be among I want to show. They call me to my sense. This is not the time. That's where the parenting comes in. This is what to do. This is what to do at this time. Fine, having car at that time is not bad because I have a business. But they still let me know the reason why this is not the right time. So that's another aspect of parenting.
Maybe if you have gotten a boss or that soon, that time, maybe they will not complain. How do you cannot carry chickens? Cannot carry load. Okay. That's very, our parents, they matter.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm afraid for our generation, the generation of children we have today. When you see some parents, you think, This one should still be under their mother and their already parents. You know, the way when you see on social media, see this mother and this daughter, you'll be surprised in this, what are they thinking? All right, now challenges bedeviling this country currently. And fine for those people, even those people that have their own business, they are also not too happy because of policy somersault of the government.
Yes, sir.
Duplication of taxes, lack of power supply, you know, that the business has to cough out money to your own security of your enterprise, your building, your farm, water supply, electricity supply, which has to be the overhead.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of people are tired. They think, let me just get out. What advice? You are established in Nigeria. You travel, you come back, you're established in Nigeria. What of those people who have lost hope in Nigeria? There are business people who have lost hope. Business are folded. Business have collapsed. There are people who have not yet started. They are afraid of starting because of those whose business have collapsed. So what do you say to those who have lost hope? Who are just anything, let me just get out. To go and do anything that don't mind. Any advice for those kind of people?
How we advise those kind of people not to lose hope? Rather, look into what are the positive things that can be bring out in the fate of hopelessness. Like me, for example, the greatest challenge is always electricity, and I find a way around it. Thank God for the advent of solar now. So right now, I know that, okay, I need water to keep running and the electricity is not coming forth. I need this to keep going and the electricity is not coming forth. Thank God for the advent of solar, like I said. That's the solution. You can invest in whatever you think may be a disadvantage for you so that you work it out. For the aspect of insecurity also, that may discourage a lot of people to go out there. Fine, you can look for a trusted person within that vicinity, within that area. Doesn't really mean that you should be going there every time. No, a true call that, oh, this, and you settle them. And being an agriculturist, like I said earlier again, you are meeting a lot of needs, primary needs. You are trying to reduce inflation. You are meeting them at the very minimum at their family level.
Very important. And as an engineer here, I can say you can even bring in engineering to your farm. Like put something there, you can install some surveillance that once it detects something, it sends a message to you on phone. And finally, Dr. Adeshola, there is this popular belief today that our graduates are unemployable. With your experience so far and with your own business, what can you give? What counsel can you give the graduates you are turning out every now and then in this country on how to be self-reliant, how to be able to survive these economic realities that we are faced with?
Thank you, sir. If there is time to think of self-reliance, it is now, because of this advent of AI generation now. So the aspect of AI generation has even made things worse, because we have, in the next few years to come, we have a lot of graduates with fewer jobs. And with the advent of AI, it's easier for universities to produce more graduates now. Before, you can sit down within 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, you keep writing your paperwork. Today now, within 30 minutes, you are already finished, you are already done with your paperwork, and that is contributing maybe positively, maybe negatively, in quotes, to the number of graduates out there. So it's just as good as, find something doing, identify what to complement with what you can use to complement with the degree you have. Doesn't really mean it can be in your field, but what it matters is, what am I passionate about? Can it be photography? Can it be printing? Can it be agriculture? Can it be solar engineering? Can it be, learn it, look for people that are specialized in that area, learn it, and dedicate time for it, and of course, utilize every bit of break that you have as an undergraduate. The window gap between your graduate before you go to NYC, after your NYC, the next thing to do, every opportunities that come your way, try and utilize it. Don't allow the issue of this pressure to carry you away.
Very, very important. Skill acquisition. That's the key word. No matter what you do, no matter your level of graduation, no matter your second degree, first sector degree, get additional skills.
Yes,
The way we are going, artisans are getting depleted by the day.
Yes, sir.
There's one man I know that does my wire job of my car from. That man is at least is an averagely old person. And I see this person with him today, but next time I go, the boy has gone. When I say the boy has gone, nobody wants to be patient to learn a trade. And once he grows old and leaves that job, I don't know, maybe by then I will have had another car, I will have an electric car that will not need rewiring job there. Because it's name it, in different areas of artisanship, you see people are no more interested in doing it. Either it's Naija bet Naija, things that we just drop money, something that will just bring money on time. Patience is becoming a forgotten virtue today. And that's one of the things I'm talking about. Learn skill. You don't say you're looking for one white collar job that is not there. Jobs are that you're talking about white collar. They are just without collar.
Yes, sir.
That will give you real satisfaction and fulfillment. So thank you, Dr. Oyekale, for being with us today. I want you to chip in a closing remark for our viewers.
Oh, thank you, our viewers at home. If there will be anything that we advise you on, is to be proactive. Not only that, you work towards a particular person that can be of direct guidance to you, for mentoring, and for our graduates out there longing to go into maybe postgraduate studies. Is always good to get it right. What do I mean by this? Know what it takes to have all this research methodology and some other things that will complement your work, be it you learn new skill, maybe data analysis that will keep you going. And for those that may think that, oh, traveling out may be the option for me. So I'm telling you, there are challenges out there, while there are also challenges here too. But what matters is, if you are traveling out, what are you going to do? It really matters. So if you are traveling out on purpose, is very good. With my age, I won't never discourage anybody from traveling out. Rather, you must be focused that, oh, why am I traveling out? Does it really matters for me to stay or to come back? So, and in all you do, don't forget the God factors. Thank you.
Very, very important. That just remind me of one question I saw on social media sometime, that they are giving 100 million. No, it's not 100 million, but let's say 20 million, either to get a visa to travel or to establish a business in Nigeria. Which one will you go for? That's for our viewers to decide. 20 million to travel, or they'll just pick one. They'll give you 20 million, but decide what you want to do with it. So our viewers, it's been a wonderful time, and I think discussing with Dr. Oyekale today has given me some passion also for agriculture. I think I have to find time to visit your farm. Yeah, I mean, it's math that I've been talking. We have time to visit your farm to see things myself. Maybe I can do some technology transfer.
No problem.
Agri transfer. No I don't know if I can do it actually, but I think actually I have the desire for it. But maybe because lack of space in my house, I'm able to do. I've tried poultry before. Some succeeded, some failed, so I stopped. And like that. So our viewers, we rounding it off today. Thank you for being with us. But please strike the like button, click on the share button, also click on the subscribe button. Until you see again our next podcast, remember, it is not over until you say it is. Thank you. Bye-bye.